here to weigh in. Mike Pompeo, former Secretary of State and former director of the CIA. All right, so, Secretary, you were there when he was firing off a bunch of these. What kind of reaction do you think what kind of reaction would the country go through if he was back on, especially with the left?
Jesse, they'll explode. All right, their heads will explode. And thanks for walking me back down memory lane there with some of the greatest hits. Those brought a smile to my face, as you can tell. Look, I think it'd be fantastic. It would be right to put him back on. It'd be right to put back every conservative who's been taken off or throttled down or shadow banned or whatever the right word is. We've seen it in my own account. This should be a place for people to speak their minds, speak freely, and speak about the things that matter to America. And I think President Trump and everyone who wants to be out there should be allowed to be back on Twitter. I'm glad to hear what Mr. Musk is going to do when he gets a hold of this.
Now, if he gets back on Twitter, do you think the left secretly wants that? Because they want an enemy to run against. They want the big bad wolf back to bash because Ultra Mag is not working. The Putin price hike isn't working. They're desperate for the boogeyman. Do you think that actually would help Democrats?
I think some of them think that. Careful what you ask for. We've all seen he's been pretty effective at communicating that way. He delivered an important message. It allowed us to break glass for 4 years, to change a lot of the things that had put America in a bad place under the Obama administration. It's been most unfortunate to watch them undo so much of what we did. So I welcome the president back to Twitter. I welcome everyone who's been abandoned or kicked off or shut down. This is a place for free speech. And if I were the left, I would not be welcoming conservative voices back into the marketplace. There's a reason they've tried to cancel us, shut us down. And I think letting those voices be heard is only inure to the benefit of America and the conservative movement.
Now, you wrote a nice op-ed today in the Washington Times, and it says that we have to get rid of wokeness in the military because it's actually putting our national security at risk. Do you think the drive for wokeness in the military could actually maybe cost us a battle or even a war?
Jesse, I don't think there's any doubt about that, and it could certainly cost American lives. And when it comes to these kinds of life and death things, when it comes to American security, there can only be one standard. That is excellence. Unfortunately, this administration has driven wokeness into every element of it. They now have entire weekends where reservists are called up to train on issues like this. President Biden himself told young soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines that we were going to make climate change the most important thing in their lives. He said every one of our military vehicles was going to be green. And this focus on equity, to the abandonment of training on the hard stuff, the difficult things that I learned when I was a soldier an awful long time ago. When you lose that focus, the focus on being a warrior and on excellence, and you put other things and you pit blacks and whites and Hispanics against each other inside this really important institution, the United States military, you indeed present real risk to those same young men and women that we're asking to do really hard work on our behalf.
I think you're right. I don't think we're sending any green javelins over to Ukraine. I think we're giving them the good stuff. All right. Secretary Mike Pompeo, thanks for joining Primetime.
Jesse, thanks for having me on tonight, sir. So long.